What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. By the way, my name is Kristen and today we are doing a speed build over in Sulani, and I am building a beach house for a family. It's pretty much a regular size family. It's not a large family, not a small family, just a normal size family. And I know normal size is different for everybody, but in this case, it is for 1 or 2 parents with 3 kids, and the ages range from teenager to child to infant. And yeah, so with all of that being said, before we get too deep into today's video, I would like to take a second to invite you guys to subscribe if you have not already, and also like this video if you do find it enjoyable in any way, and also comment down below what your favorite part of the build is, and maybe even what your least favorite part of the build is. I am always open to new suggestions and nice, friendly, constructive criticism. I just love reading all of your comments down below and interacting with you all. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get back into today's build. So as I was saying, this is a beach home for a pretty normal sized family, and it's obviously here in Sulani. How could I not choose Sulani as the destination for the beach house? I mean, how gorgeous is Sulani? And this lot in particular has got to be my favorite lot in the whole neighborhood of Sulani, or the whole world of Sulani. I can't really remember what's considered neighborhoods and what is considered a world, but in my opinion, my point of view of how The Sims is laid out, I feel like the different quote unquote worlds that we have, like Sulani or Willow Creek or what have you, they are pretty much like different countries. That's how I envision it as. So not necessarily a neighborhood, but definitely not a different world, because then how could you travel to Sulani from Willow Creek? Does that make sense? So I feel like if you live in Willow Creek, Sulani is some beautiful beach country slash town, right? I don't know. But anyways, we pretty much have the outside structure done as far as the actual house goes. I do have a lot more that I'm going to do in the back of the house, but I have the front pretty much how I'm gonna keep it. I really wanted to do a wraparound balcony and a wraparound porch. So as of right now, we have the wraparound porch. We do not have a wraparound balcony yet, and it's actually not even placed how I have the porch. It's on the other side. So the whole structure of this house ends up being pretty interesting in my opinion. I actually really like it, and it is very different than what I have done before. I'm actually really bad about sticking with a certain design of house and doing that with every house that I build, depending on the style of it. You know, if it's suburban, I pretty much do, you know, the same style of suburban house. I will admit that I'm bad about that. I try not to, but no matter how hard I try, sometimes it just turns out exactly the same. And same goes for beach houses. But yeah, with that being said, this is very different than what I have done before, and you'll see here in just a little bit what I mean by that, particularly when I do the back of the house. I put a pool there, I put a lot of different balconies and porches and all of that good stuff. It turns out very interesting, and honestly perfect for families that do a lot of outdoor entertaining. Right now you see me trying to do some sort of pool with the platform slash foundation in the water. I really wanted to do like a curved pool using the beach water, but I could not get that to work right. I could have edited this part out, but I kind of wanted you guys to see my train of thought when I developed the whole outside of this house. So like I said, it pretty much started with trying to add a pool into the ocean. But yeah, that did not work at all. Not how I wanted it to. Like certain simmers, they're like really good with platforms and foundations and making it look exactly how they want it to look, and using the curved foundations to make a curved pool in the ocean and all of that stuff. I tried that. I tried really, really hard. I could not figure it out, and it was irritating me. And so I scrapped that idea, and I decided to go with something a little bit different, but still just as cool. And I decided to not only have the porch, the wraparound porch on the bottom, but we also have a wraparound balcony on the second story. And usually when I do that, I just have the balcony on the exact same area where the porch is, if that makes sense. Like, I pretty much just put it as the roof of the porch, but I really wanted to be different this time, like I was saying, and so I actually put the balcony on the other side of the house, and you guys kind of seen how I did that. I don't know what made me think of that. It is an interesting shape. It's pretty, rectangular or squarey. Squarey is not a word. That's actually a pretty weird sounding word. Forgive me, sometimes I make up words, and I did drink a lot of coffee this morning, so you might notice that about me. I might be a little bit more talkative or active as usual. So yeah, I'm gonna blame it on the coffee, okay? It's the coffee's fault. But anyways, I am now working on the pool area of the house. And by doing that, I had to kind of transform the shape of the house on the bottom. And right now it's kind of like a big ugly looking square on the left side of the house, or right side, really depending on the way you're looking at it. But if we're looking at it now from the back, it's on the left side. It's very square-like and pretty weird shaped. But I swear I have an image in my mind, and I am rolling with it. And I'm actually really glad that I did, because it turned out so good. I've seen other people do similar things like this before, so I mean, this is not an original idea by any means, but I don't know if I've seen them do it exactly how I'm doing it here. I tried to be as original as possible, but I also really like the idea of having the pool on the second story, and then like you could see inside of the pool from the house. And so yeah, I just really wanted to roll with that idea, which at first I really wanted the living room to be on the other side of the pool where you could see in the pool from the living room, but I ended up having to do the dining room there instead. It looks so nice from the inside though. Like, it looks so good. I can't wait for you guys to see the finished product, or at least the near finished products. Right now you probably cannot see my vision at all, but I promise you it will come. But as far as the different seating areas I have going on in this back part of the house, right outside of the second story on the left side of the house, if you're looking at it from the back, you see how I kind of have like a roofed area? Right there I have a seating area, and that's right outside of the hallway on the second story. And there's actually 2 different exit areas you can use in this back part of the house. So we have one directly outside, or we have one directly in the master bedroom leading outside, and then we have another one in the hallway area where everyone can use, either the guests or the kids of the house, whoever. They lead directly to the lounging part of the second story. And I put some chairs there, like a sofa or a love seat, and a couple of like seats, a coffee table. I ended up putting an easel there as well, and it turns out so good. And then I also put a ceiling fan. I don't know what it is with me and adding ceiling fans outside, but doesn't it just give it like a luxurious feel for some reason? Like, it's such a simple thing, but it makes it just feel like an upgraded amenity. I don't know why, but it does, at least for me. I don't usually see that in real life. I usually see that in like really expensive houses, or maybe Airbnbs or whatever, maybe restaurants, but never at someone's house. Even though I have been looking at houses, we are planning on moving. And some of the houses I see, it's kind of the more expensive houses, but still cheap at the same time, but it's an upgraded amenity, right? So a lot of the very, very cheap houses, they don't have the fans outside, but if you want to spend maybe $20,000 to $50,000 more on a house, you can have that upgraded amenity ceiling fan. Is it worth that price? No. You could do that yourself for a lot cheaper probably. But that's not the only upgraded amenity in the price. So I guess maybe if you compare and contrast all of the upgraded amenities, it might be worth it. But then again, I don't know. I don't know if that is worth an extra $50K. But anyways, here in The Sims, it does not cost an extra $50K. It is something very, very simple to do and costs literally what the ceiling fan costs. Like, you don't have to do a lot of electrical stuff like you do in real life, so that's a plus. So it probably costs your Sims like 100 simoleons or whatever the fan costs. But on another subject, enough about the ceiling fan. Outside of the master bedroom, that area ends up just having like tables and chairs. I really wanted to do something cool there, but that was the last thing I actually do in this build, so I ran out of ideas, okay? Forgive me. I really did run out of ideas on that part. There's so much seating area on the outside of the build that I literally ran out of ideas. So I did just do like a circular umbrella table and chair from the backyard kit or backyard stuff pack, which is literally my favorite stuff pack. And it turns out pretty. But as of right now, we actually just transferred back inside so I could start doing the furnishings on the inside. I did cut out the part where I painted all the walls and chose like the wall colors, and you've seen me choose the floor color though. The reason why I did that is because look, it's already a 48-minute video and I have it on 8 speed. So with that being said, sorry if it's a little bit too fast, but I didn't want to do an hour video, an hour and 20-minute video. Not that I didn't want to do it, I just didn't want you guys to have to sit through that long of a video. I don't know. This leads to a perfect question. Do you guys like watching videos that are an hour or longer? Or do you like to stick with like a 30 to 45 minute video? I'm really very curious because I tend to over furnish houses, which makes my videos kind of long. So let me know down in the comments below if you prefer a longer video or a shorter one, because I am very, very curious. But on another note, we are furnishing the kitchen, and this actually came together very, very quickly because I realized I was not recording when I furnished it the first time. And so I went ahead and added everything to my family inventory, and then I just placed it one by one after the fact. Well, I replaced it, should I say. I do that to myself so much. You'd think I would have learned by now, but for some reason I didn't. I am so bad about just like pausing my video, like the recording of my video, and then going and doing something and coming back an hour later and then forgetting to press record again. And so yeah, I do it to myself. I can't be mad at anybody but myself. But yeah, I mean, luckily I realized that I can just place it in the household inventory and it's fine. It's just like it never happens. But yeah, so the kitchen is getting pretty much done. As I come across different things I know I'm gonna want to put in the house, I do end up placing it in the area where I think I'm gonna want to put it, just so I don't forget about it, because I tend to forget things very, very easily. But as far as the kitchen goes, I really wanted to stick with like a neutral color, which not even just for the kitchen. This whole house, when I do beach houses, I usually do very, very colorful beach houses. That's just my go-to. I love the tropical vibe of beaches and beach houses, beach restaurants, beach bars, all of that. And Sulani has that vibe anyways, just a very tropical, colorful island town. But since I wanted to do something different with the shape, I figured I might as well do something different with the color as well. And so I'm sticking with this very light neutral green with very light neutral woods and white, and I think these colors look so pretty together, especially for a beach house. It's like a whole different vibe of beach house, and I love it. I am so obsessed with this house. It's so cute. And yeah, so I stuck with not only that on the outside but on the inside as well. So this kitchen is very very light green, very light wood, and super, super cute. I'm very happy with it. And I decided to put an island in the center of the kitchen because the shape is very long, and that island fit there so perfect. I love the layout of this kitchen, to be honest. It's so cute and very like functional at the same time, and pretty, I don't know, realistic. And behind that island, I actually put a hutch, and that hutch, I can't remember what pack that was from. I think it came with Jungle Adventure. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but it matched perfectly, so I had to use it. And then right next to the hutch, I actually put the family board, like the bulletin board where you can adjust the curfew and all of that. And then of course, you know, I have the typical fridge and the stove. I actually put the stove on the island. I love doing that. I've explained this before, why I love to do it, and I'm gonna explain it again. I love to do it because I'd love it in real life. I would so love to have that in real life. You can sit there and cook and also entertain your company or family at the same time. And I love the thought of doing that. And then I put a sink, of course. I don't know why I have the need to explain, you know, the typical kitchen thing, but I am. So sorry, but yeah, so other than that, I did put just basic like microwave, and I also put an ice cream maker in here as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure I did, and right next to it I put like a bowl of berries. I thought that was a cute idea. And then yeah, just a couple of different other kitchen decorations. I tried to keep it very minimal at the same time, but also look like a family lives there. And so by doing that, it's minimal but not, if that makes sense. And then of course I had to use my all-time favorite curtains in the kitchen as well. I actually use it throughout this whole house. I'm so bad about overusing those curtains, but they're just perfect. They're like see-through, they look subtle but pretty at the same time. And I love that it looks like you can just close them, and I think they're so pretty. And the color matched too perfect not to use. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the kitchen. It's cute but basic at the same time. And I am now fixing the layout for the rest of the house, and I'm also placing furniture like beds in the bedrooms just to see who I'm going to have in what bedroom. That's just easier for my eyes for some reason and my brain to comprehend. If I see too much emptiness, I'm like, what room was that again? And so yeah, I just really like to place like filler furniture, just makes it so much easier. And here is the living room we are working on. It's a little bit of an interesting layout, to be honest. I have this like wall cutting off the living room and the dining room. I really wanted to not keep it open. It looked a little bit too open to me, and so I like the thought of having that just wall on the middle of the floor, and that also gave me an area to put the TV, right? There's so many windows all throughout this build that I really kind of struggled with where to put TVs at in certain rooms. And so here in this living room, adding that wall helped tremendously. And also I have like 2 arches. Like I made these arches using spandrels and columns. I love to do that. It makes it look and feel more open. And then I put these curtains in front of those arches, so it made it feel even more closed, and it also feels like you can just take that curtain and close the room off. I love that for some reason. I think it looks so good. And these woods are from different packs, but how well do all of these woods match? Like, I love when that happens. It does not always happen. Sometimes stuff from the same pack doesn't even match. So when I can make other things from different packs match, I love it all day long. It's my favorite thing. And I also came across this divider from the newest expansion pack, Hobbies, or Businesses and Hobbies. And it looks so good there behind the TV, doesn't it? Like, it adds an extra detail, and I love it so much. And since there is an infant in this house, of course, I felt the need to add a grabby mat in the living room, like I always do. I'm so bad about doing that, but it just makes it feel so realistic, and it gives you a place to put your infant. I say that all the time. You know, no more infants scooting and crawling around the house and you cannot find them. You can place it in the little grabby mat. And it's perfect for this beach house because you don't want them infants falling off that balcony on the outside, right? That would not be a good day. I mean, this is The Sims, so that would not happen, but in real life it definitely would. I probably would not live in a house like this if I had like an infant. I don't know, maybe I would. I would just, you know, be very, very, very cautious. But I mean, how could I deny living in a house like this? Like if I had a chance, of course I would. And while we are on that subject, how awesome would it be to grow up in a house like this? You would never be able to live in a normal house again. Like it would be like bittersweet. Like it would be awesome, but suck at the same time because you would expect to live like this your whole life. At least I would. But we pretty much have the dining room put together for the most part. I do have the layout done at least, and I have the table right there in front where the window is leading to the pool in the back. And then I also have additional windows on the side that has a good view for the ocean outside. And of course I'm using my same favorite curtains that I always use. Like I said, they're in literally every room of the house, but I regret nothing because they match so good. However, in the dining room on the other side where the table isn't, this area right here, it's kind of like a hallway sort of thing. And so I kind of struggled deciding what I wanted to put here, but I really knew that I wanted to put a computer desk somewhere in the build, and I did not have anywhere to place it in the living room, so I decided to put it here in this like little hallway, and I used that same divider that I have behind the TV to cut off that hallway and dining room, and I thought it looked so good. I'm so happy with it. And as far as that computer area goes, I figured that that is where Mom works from home at. I do not know exactly what job she does. I didn't really think about that, but she does work from home and that's where she works from. She has the luxury of working from her beach house. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, I want that life. How do you achieve that? To work from home and be able to afford this house at the same time, that seems like a dream come true. Maybe she's like, I don't know, a businesswoman that works all day. Then that's like, how can you even enjoy living in this house? But whatever she does, maybe she's a writer and she sells novels, and so she's just like super crazy rich and she can also enjoy the house at the same time. That is what I'm thinking actually. This actually kind of gives off a writer vibe to me, like the colors, the subtle colors. I don't know, I feel like, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, she's definitely a writer. And the dad, he is living the dream, and he's just a stay-at-home dad and gets to enjoy fishing all day and swimming all day, boating all day, and enjoying his life of luxury while his wife is doing what she loves, and that is writing. So yeah, they are truly living the dream. And then of course the kids, they get picked up for school every day and they go to the school down the street. Sulani Elementary School, Sulani High School. But anyways, we are over into the entryway of the house, and this is an open staircase, so I knew I wanted to put some sort of bookshelf under the staircase. And look at all of these books. Now that I'm thinking of it, her being a writer makes absolute perfect sense to me. And actually, I created that whole bookshelf under the staircase myself, and I think it looks like it's meant to be like that. Like, it looks like it's built into the staircase like that, and that's exactly the vibe I was going for, and I think it turned out so good. And then I placed some other knickknacks on top of the bookcase, and I also placed a fish tank as well, where you could put like a goldfish or whatever in there. And yeah, so that is pretty much the entryway. I also put the dog bowl in the entryway as well. That was pretty much the perfect place I could find, and really the only place I could find. And of course, I figured this was a dog living here. Like, the dog is my go-to. I don't know. I never really furnished for cats. I need to do that though. But since this is a beach house, I figured it was perfect for a dog anyways. Can you imagine your dog just jumping off the balcony every day or the patio every day and jumping straight into the ocean? Like, that is like a dog's dream, right? Like, honestly, I'm jealous of that dog. That dog's living a better life than me right now. But yeah, anyways, I also actually ended up putting a washer and dryer laundry room in here as well. I love to add that in a lot of my builds, to be honest, but especially family builds. I just feel like it adds an extra touch of realism, and I absolutely love that. You know me, if you're a returning viewer, you know I'm all about that realistic life. And so yeah, I did put a washer and dryer / laundry room in there, and I think it turned out pretty cute. Very small, but very cute. And it has a window in there so you can see the ocean on the outside. Like, perfect view for doing laundry. We are now over into the infant's room, and I stuck with the same green theme in here as well. And this really could be for either a little boy or a little girl, but you know, there's flowers on the wall, so I kind of was thinking it was for a little baby girl. And I never ever do colors like this for infants very much unless it has like a garden forest theme, but this is just like a regular, you know, nursery. There is really no theme going on here other than the colors, very green and white, very, very neutral. And I think that wallpaper with the green and the green flowers and stuff is so cute. I really didn't even realize that there was a swatch like that, but that is probably my favorite swatch of that wallpaper. I think it's so cute and matches so perfectly in this room. This is a very basic nursery, but how adorable is it? And I also added these like star lights in the window, and I am so happy with the way that this nursery turned out. Like I said, it's very basic, but it's just so cute. I love it. I did struggle with the lights I wanted to put on the ceiling in here, but I added these clouds, and that was hands down the best decision. I think the clouds match perfectly in there. It's giving like just nature. I guess that's the theme. It is a nature room, but floral nature, like not like forest, more floral. And it's super cute, super basic, super cute though. And we did do the bathroom downstairs already. I didn't really talk about that very much. It's very basic. I didn't do anything extra with these bathrooms. They're just basic. I stuck with the same color scheme with the green, like the light green and the white. But yeah, I just did the normal triple bathroom thing, like shower / tub combo, sink and a toilet. That's about it. And then yeah, I mean that's it. Nothing to talk about there. We are now working on the upstairs, and we are in the master bedroom, and this master bedroom is pretty interestingly shaped, and I have windows throughout the whole thing. Like, this master bedroom probably has the best view of the house, I would say. I love how there's windows on like every single wall, and I use the long windows. These windows are the newer windows that came with one of the newer base game updates, the happy birthday update or whatever, like the 2025 celebration. And I love these windows. They're probably my new favorite in the base game. I thought they were a little bit hard to use at first, but now I've got it down pat. Like, they're my go-to now. Like, I love them. And I love how there's like a taller version as well as a shorter version. And they also added a sliding glass door to match. So that's awesome. Even though this is not the happy birthday sliding glass door, I think it's the normal one, like the cha-cha slide one, but the tall version. And I love it. And of course we have burglars now, and so I have to add burglar alarms throughout this whole house. And so I added it on like literally every door, even the doors on the second story, because you know, these burglars, that ocean I'm sure is not going to stop those burglars. If they want to get in here, they will find a way, and they will climb the ladder that I put in the ocean to the upstairs if they need to. I'm pretty sure they will. I have not tested it out, but just to be safe, I added those burglar alarms. But I also added a computer desk upstairs in the master bedroom as well. So if mom needs some peace and quiet, she doesn't want to use that computer downstairs, she has this computer in her room as well. Maybe she needs to have a business meeting with her manager or something and she needs some quiet, or she's just working on a very, very difficult novel and her kids are being too loud downstairs and she needs some peace and quiet, she can go up here upstairs. And that view, honestly, is better to write at anyways than downstairs, hands down. And then I also added that bed from For Rent. I love that bed. I'm overusing that bed as well, but I love it. It's my favorite bed in the game, and that swatch matched perfectly for the color scheme I'm going for. And that master bathroom came together very quickly as well. It's basically the same as downstairs, just a little bit different of a layout. I just used the exact same items that I used downstairs. I used it here upstairs as well. And then I placed a couple of robes in there as well for like the his and hers bathrobes. And yeah, we are over into the hallway, and I struggled with what I wanted to do in that hallway, but I ended up just putting a foosball table. I ended up putting a foosball table in there, and I do that a little bit later in the build. And out here I am working on the layout of like the sitting area, and I absolutely love these love seats from high school years. I feel like they scream beach to me, and the neutral color, you know, I had to go with the neutral color. It was way too perfect not to use. But I am back outside in the patio section and I'm trying to lay out exactly how I want that area downstairs. Every time I think of a new thing, I have to jump over there and do it before I forget, because I'm so bad about forgetting. I have the worst memory in the world, honestly. But I did have another area down there that I put some see-through tiles on, and I do actually end up changing that to a smaller area for the see-through tile. Oh, here's the foosball table I was talking about. Might not be the best choice, but honestly, we have two computers in here. The kid's gonna have her own. The teen's gonna have her own. I mean, what else would I put there, honestly? Besides another seating area. I felt like this foosball table was probably the best bet. I would have done a ping pong table if I could have fit it, but no, that's too small of an area, so we did foosball instead. And that ladder, by the way, that is actually leading up to the teen's room. I did forget to mention that the teen has the attic upstairs that they transformed into her personal room. And yeah, I think that's such a cute idea. But anyways, back to what I was doing downstairs. I do have an extra seating area that I put more seating at, that's right above the water. And then I put these see-through tiles there so that you can kind of see the water underneath and the little fishies and all of that. I mean, there's not actually fish in the game, in the water, that you could see under there, but if this was real life, there would for sure be fish that we could see, and so we can use our imagination. Or you can pull out those little like things in the build by catalog that has like fish, there's some bugs like fireflies, dragonflies, the little like flat things that you can place around, you know what I mean? And then when you're in the game, you can actually see like a gator or the fireflies or the fish. You could totally place that underneath the patio downstairs, or where like I put the see-through tiles. I bet you could put one of those fishes down there and you could probably see the fish. I didn't even think about that until now, but that's such a good idea. I might actually try that out before I post this on the gallery, and so it may or may not be there when you download this. If it's not, you could totally add it. At least try it out. But if I try it out, if I remember to, and it works out good, then it might be there already, because that's actually a pretty good idea. But as of right now, we are working on the child's room, and of course I had to have some room in here pink. There had to be a pink room somewhere. So this is like the only room in the house that is a different color now that I'm thinking about it. The attic upstairs is kind of a different color, but it's still like very light and neutral. I just use green instead of blue. So yeah, this is like the only colorful room of the house. And it's a kid's room. So what kid's room isn't colorful, I feel like? And so I just had to. I had to put a pink room somewhere. I love pink. And this room actually turns out very, very cute. I feel like this little girl is very artsy. Like, this is a very artsy room to have. And I put a creativity table in here and a computer table. She has a little TV in here with a PlayStation. And she has a little friendship making kit, or a friendship bracelet making kit, should I say. And of course I had to add that little like Bella Goth being abducted by an alien ship. That is like so cute to me. I love that. And then she has her first day of school drawings above her creativity table. And she's just a very artsy kid. And I also used the computer table that has like drawings on it from Growing Together. And yeah, just very, very artsy all around. And that bed is from Island Living. How cute is that bed? I love how there's little like hibiscuses on there. It looks very tropical, very girly, very tropical, and perfect for this room. And she's also really into video games. And so behind the TV, I put a couple of posters with different Sims games on the posters. I love that. That is from Comfy Gamer Kid. I'm sure you guys know, but figured I would say. And that is pretty much it for the kids' room. It came together very, very quickly. It's very cute, very bright, very colorful. We are now upstairs into the teens' room, and this is a very neutral room. I did blue and gray as the colors, and it came together super cute. And it's a very neutral room, so you could have a boy or a girl in here. I really wasn't specifying in my mind which teen it was. I knew I wanted to stick with a neutral color because I'm bad about doing that, so I really wanted to do that this time. And whatever gender it is, they are very much like their mom. Like, they love writing, and they're also a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. Like, they heard something about Strangetown and the mother, and there's plants that turn people into zombies, and I don't know, this teen's kind of, you know, kind of wanting to move to Strangerville and figuring out that whole thing. They're just a conspiracy theorist, okay? They don't believe everything they hear or see. They see stuff online, but they believe that though. But yeah, see how quickly this room came together and how cute it is too. And they have like an extra area that's almost like their own living area. They have a TV, and I place a PlayStation here for them as well. And a couple of like rugs there in front of like the little sofa area. I put a little poof thing, and that egg chair. I love that egg chair, by the way. It's so cute. And then I have like a divider dividing off the living area from the actual like room. So I should have put a mini fridge in there. That means like they stay up here like all day long, okay? Like, they love their alone time. They love staying in their room and having their friends over and all of that. And this is the teens' bathroom, and it's very typical, but I did use a mirror with stickers on there. I love doing that for my teens' bathrooms. I like to try and decorate it to match their personality in some sort of way. And I grabbed my sim to try to play test this because I knew it was a tight fit. So I ended up just having to move everything over a tiny bit, and she finally is able to get over there. Yeah, that little like dresser thing, that was irritating me. Okay, it was in the way. And that is it for the upstairs as far as the furnishing for the house goes. I mean, actually the whole house is completely done and completely furnished. I am now finally working on the outside, and I am working on the area that's directly outside of the back door, like the sliding glass door where the dining room is. And I decided just to put another seating area here where people could, you know, if they grill outside, this is probably where they go and eat. It's like an outside eating seating area that also is covered, so it's perfect if it's raining or storming and you still want to eat outside by the water. That area is so perfect. And you can actually see inside of the pool there too. So there's a couple different areas there where you can actually eat and see inside of the pool. Whoever's swimming, you can spy on them. You know, you can be a little weird. And you can also just see the water. Like, I think this area turned out so cute. And here is the seating area that is right by the water, and it has the see-through floor, and I do end up changing it to that smaller size. I thought it looked so much better when it was smaller. I tried to place a rug on top of it when it was like the whole thing was see-through, and it made the rug see-through, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, so this seating area, I just used that same like love seat from high school years that I used upstairs in the seating area. I used it here too. It just matched so well. It's so cute. I used the green swatch for it down here just so it was a little bit different. And then I added some different like little seats and different poofs and a coffee table with some flowers, and it's just a super cute laid back area right there. And then it leads down to a little like area that you can get onto that boat at. It's like a little dock. That's what I'm looking for. It's a little dock, and I also added like a little wooden bench out there, and I surrounded it by an additional fence just to add a little extra detail. I added the fence because I thought that was super realistic to add on the dock, so you could sit there and get your stuff together before you get on the boat, and I thought it was just such a good idea. And other than the boat, I also added a couple of jet skis as well, so they have plenty of entertainment to do here in this house. Like, this is a dream house of mine, or I would love to have a friend that owned this house too. I'd be over there all the time. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it for the house, guys. We are now finally starting on the landscaping outside. I pushed this off to the last minute because I really wanted to do the rest of the house first and base the color of the landscaping off the house so that it looked a lot more cohesive, and I think it turned out so good. I also added one of those little grills that came with Island Living where you could cook in the sand, and you cook like the local dishes like the Kahlua pork and all of that good stuff there, and I thought it was cute. And then on the other side, I added a couple of towels with a little cooler bag there as well. A very simple little beach area. I tend to overdo the beach area, and since this whole house has so much to it, I figured a little simple beach area that just has some towels was like perfect. It complemented the busyness of the house perfectly. And I actually noticed as I was playtesting that I totally forgot to do the terrain paint in this whole build. And so I did that off camera, but I just painted underneath the green landscaping. I used grass, and really that's it. And yeah, that is the build, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed building it for you guys. And I hope you all have an amazing weekend. I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.